Well, to talk about how this is moving the markets, I'm joined now by Ross Gerber of Gerber Kawasaki. Ross, thank you very much for joining us. We last spoke the day after the election, and I remember you told me then that you thought whatever the result was, the election had passed off fairly smoothly and it would be good for the markets either way. But as Trump continues to refuse to recognise the result, do you still think that?
Yeah, absolutely. Many people go through denial when they lose. And the way our democracy was built, remember, we left the King of England, 255 years ago, and we specifically built our democracy so there couldn't be another king and there couldn't be this type of situation. So Trump's going up against the exact framework of our Constitution and the way our country works. So he's got nowhere to go but out of the White House, and he's just stalling the inevitable. But eventually they'll come and kick him out.
And then what about the impact of this Pfizer vaccine? Of course, it sent markets shooting up around the world on Monday. Do you think it's time now to pull away from those growth stocks, that tech that's done so well this year, and towards stocks that will do a bit better once people are finally allowed out of their houses?
Well, I wish that was actually the reality. The reality is we're all going back into our houses. I know London's now locked down again. In the United States is the case counts are jumping like crazy, and we expect a really tough winter, unfortunately. So I think these tech stocks work for quite some time into the future. And even with the vaccine and the way it'll be rolled out and the combination of things that it'll take to get our society to be more active again, I think is going to take another year anyways. And then what that will be, who knows? So I think it's a big mistake actually to rotate out of the tech names that have done so well because of COVID, because nothing's changed. In fact, COVID is worse here in the United States than it's ever been. So we're about to enter a whole new stage of this pandemic before we get out of it. So I think I'll be more bullish when we get to next year at some point in the spring.
If it's too soon then to start thinking about the post-pandemic world, which sectors are you advising investors to put their money in now?
Well, we're extremely bullish on the results of the election and how it'll affect clean energy. We're big investors in climate change and the EV technology space. We're one of the bigger investors in Tesla, and we highly recommend Tesla as an investment, despite it being a high price stock. But there are many other players in the EV space and the battery technology and clean energy space, which present amazing opportunities over the next 5 or 10 years as we deal with the global climate crisis. And then secondly, cannabis was legalized in many states in the United States, and with a Biden-Harris win, we expect cannabis to be federally legalized over the next year, we hope, as we try to right some of the wrongs that have happened in America with the drug war over the last 30 or 40 years. So we're very bullish on these sectors, as well as adding to our tech names on the sell-off, where you see opportunity. Most of the tech names are still extremely expensive, however.
Thank you so much for that, Ross Gerber of Gerber Kawasaki.